It was so shiny from the light out of the window. She could barely look at the coat. So she took them off, and they were like, wow, I'm going to sell these. And she went down and sold them, and she got plenty of money. And she was able to buy chicken and fish and tofu and all kinds of good stuff for Shabbos and candles. And she knew when her husband came home, he would be so pleasantly surprised. And she got busy getting the whole house ready, getting everything ready for Shabbos. She was so excited. This incredible miracle. Meanwhile, he's davening. He says, Rabboni Shalom, come on, give me a break. I don't know what to do. But at the end of the day, people were leaving the shul to go home with their families to do Shabbat. So he's walking down the road. He knows his house is the third one on the left. And he figures it's going to be really dark, and he doesn't want to look, but he kind of looks up, and he sees a great light coming out of his house. And the first thing he thinks is, oh, my God, there's a fire. And he runs over there, and there wasn't a fire. There was a beautiful Shabbos light coming right through the window. He saw the candles sitting on their beautiful table with a white cloth and all kinds of a feast, a beautiful feast. And he goes in, and he says, what is this? What happened? What did you do? Oh, and she told him all about going upstairs and taking the buttons, and it's kind of bright night, and buying all this stuff. And he says, wow, and they were just so excited. Oh, and he looked into her eyes, and she looked into his eyes. And they began to make love right there in the living room. Well, meanwhile, in the town next door, the Baal Shem Tov was about to say Kiddush. He's going, oh, yoy, boy, roy. The Hasidim are looking at him, and the guests are looking at him. What's going on? But then again, they said, hey, this is the Baal Shem Tov. He's on that level. Well, David and Chana, they have this incredibly wonderful meal, and they sang songs, and they sit back, and they said, just what an incredible miracle this is. And then she looked into his eyes. He looked into her eyes. And again, they begin to embrace and make love right there. And again, the Baal Shem Tov is teaching the deepest teachings you can imagine, the inside of the outside of the outside of the inside. It's so deep. And he's saying, then the inside... and the inside is so, And the Hasidim are like, come on. And they're kind of pressing on to the Maggid of Mezrich, saying, no, you're the top student. What, will you talk to him? Say, hey, this is the best. He's on a high level. Well, as you might guess, just before bed, the young couple once again saw the last little wisps of Shabbos light going down in the candlesticks, and they were then taken into each other's eyes and hearts and made love one last time. And once again, the Baal Shem Tov started laughing like a maniac. This time, the Maggid says, no, Rebbe, what are you doing? Sure. I'll tell you on Sunday. Well, when the Rebbe says, I'll tell you on Sunday, you got to wait till Sunday. So Sunday comes, and the young couple had a little bit of money, left over, so they thought they'd go down to the marketplace and buy a few things, and they're there. And they come to the marketplace, and they see a whole huge crowd, a circle of people around, and there must be something going on. So they kind of looking over their shoulders, and they see this kind of portly guy sitting in a chair telling stories. And as soon as he sees them, he stops. He says, make way, make way. You lovely people, come here. So the couple comes up to him, Chana and David, and they're kind of shy. They figure this is a Rebbe. This is like really a holy man. And he says, let me ask you a question. How was your Shabbos? And their faces began to turn red. But then, being that Chana, being a woman and has more cells in certain parts of her brain that can cause her to be able to articulate much faster than any man on the earth, she began to talk. And she said, listen, we had this incredible miracle. And she told the whole miracle about the buttons and all of that, and then the Shabbos, and it was really beautiful, and amen. And the Besh says, that's nice. Anything special happen? more redness coming into the faces. And finally, she said, we made love. Oh, the people standing around saying, how could you say you made love in public? Oh, you can say, well, shh. And the Baal Shem Tov says, how many times? How could you ask somebody how many times in public? There are people listening here. And without a blink, she says, 3. Oh! Now people couldn't believe this. They were all aghast. Sex maniacs, you know. And the Besh said to everybody there, especially his Chassidim, let me tell you what happened. The first time you made love, it was so high in heaven that the angels had to come down and surround your house and guard you and keep you. No. A very special soul needs to come through these two beautiful people. And they sent a special soul who also tickled me. And this soul is inside of you. And you will birth this child who will be a great leader of the generation. And then the Besh turned to everybody there and says, and all of you who have let this tale into you, that have let the joy from this couple inside of you, you've taken it in, you will also birth new things in your life that will bring new leadership and joy and love into the world. And he said, Amen. Amen.